Hello there. This will be my emergency 30 below, 30, 25 below mask. 25 with wind. Otherwise, I'm not going to wear this thing because it just looks too freaky. But I do like it though. It's a lot of fun. You can wear the hat over it too. But we got a lot going on, so let's hurry up. I already tried making this video, and I made it too long. And if I make a video over 20 minutes, my Amazon tablet or the what do you call it? I'm just using YouTube in the browser. I'm not using it in the app. That might be the thing that's limited to 20 minutes. If the file's too big, you can't upload it to YouTube. So let's try this again. So unfortunately, this will not be first time trying golden berries because as you can see, I've already eaten just about this whole package. And my first time reaction was on the video that I can't upload. So maybe one day I'll figure out how to chop it up into smaller pieces and upload it. But as of now, I can't do anything with it. Um, yeah. Um, I have lost my cape, and so I'm wearing one of the ones that normally hangs up there. So anybody who's seen my videos will know this is a little bit different of a cape. But let's just slowly reveal that as we go along here because it's fun. Um, let's try goldenberry. You do get a lot of variety of flavor in these berries. So the first one you try and the last one you try might be completely different. So it's kind of any one you try is kind of like trying the first one ever in a way. So oh yeah, I would say they remind me a lot of ground cherries because they have this. How can you have a sour taste and a creamy taste? Well, these things do it. Um, these golden berries, I think, are just really big ground cherries. Um, like they're this big, but the other packages of them they had were about half this size, and I do wonder if the flavor would be a little less sour or a little more sour. But the creamy fruitiness reminds me a lot of Aunt Molly's ground cherries, these weird little fruit that grow in paper lanterns, and they just fall off when they're ripe. They're nice little fruit, easy to grow. But anyways, I do want to hurry up. 2026 is going to be a big year. I don't know. I don't want to say this is going to happen in 2026, but what is going to happen is I'm going to repeat my stunt of carrying a pallet to Beaver Lodge and back. Um, I think I might go a little bit slower and have a way of getting resources to me. I'm not sure who, but there's a couple people who've offered to walk along with me, and so I may actually just ask them to instead of walking to maybe come up and drive up some supplies every now and then. A couple packets of applesauce while carrying a pallet would be a lifesaver. I was kind of hoping the last time I did it that people might come up and bring me a sandwich. Here's hoping. I'm carrying a pallet down the highway. I was just thought I would get attention, but truth be told, I had very limited supplies. I was basically just going on energy drinks for the most part. I did have something else. I can't remember if that was when I was chugging evaporated milk too, because that's heavy calories. And I was like, yeah, that's the most calories for the least amount of weight, was the way I figured. Um, but I also got some food when I got into town and picked up the energy drinks and stuff. But yeah, I think I had like six of those jokers, maybe more, which is way too many energy drinks to be drinking. But I would walk quite a few miles before I would drink another one. It wasn't like I was chugging them all at once or anything like that. And I had to make sure they were in the middle of the pallet because it really fucked me up if you have just a little bit of weight off to the corner or something like that. It had to be right centered in the middle so you could balance it. And that's something I'm going to keep in mind. Is supplies are just very difficult to carry while you're also trying to carry a pallet. And I remember at one point on the way back, I was actually putting my supplies down, uh, and I would pick up the pallet, and I would set the pallet down, and I would pick up the supplies, and I would set that farther ahead. I was like taking steps, like the pallet was 1 foot and the bag was the other foot, like left foot, right foot, and you know, you eventually get her done. Um, the problem with that was when I went to pick up my bag and go farther ahead of the pallet, a little bit of wind. I don't know if it was wind or if it just fell over because it was on an uneven surface. The pallet fell on my foot in the middle of the night, and like I had nobody helping me, so it wasn't like I could call it quits. Well, I could always call it quits. I could stop carrying the pallet, but I wasn't going to do that. Um, and I think I did have to take quite a while to recover from that because my foot swelled up quite a bit. It was just I had done so well to make sure I didn't overstress myself. It was just a simple injury you can't plan for, and it did make the whole trip a lot more difficult. But it's just one of those things you can't plan for. But it's something I'm going to definitely have in my mind for the next time to realize that you can plan for that. You can just watch that goddamn pallet a little bit more carefully, just be a little bit more alert when you weren't before. Just because you're running out of juice doesn't mean you can't stay the fuck out of that pallet's way, just walk a little wider around it. Um, yeah, yeah, but if it's a little hard to believe that I'm going to do that, I don't blame you. It's not an easy task, but I'm just going to show you how I'm going to prepare for it. This is my walk for lost loved ones, WOK walk, because you can cook on it. But it is a big piece of metal that weighs about 49 pounds. And so, to prepare for carrying the pallet, I am going to be carrying this around and doing some squats with it. And one day I would like to carry this longer distances too, maybe over to Claremont first, and with some breaks and cooking some meals on it, maybe I could carry it to Beaver Lodge and back one day, but that feels impossible right now. So I have the pallet in mind, and this is just my way of preparing. And it's going to be a long road, but I want to be over prepared, not under prepared. And if I can have some people come along and bring me some supplies, I'm thinking I want to stock up on those applesauce mashed banana things from Dollarama because they're cheap and it's easy to digest that. It's like no problem at all. But I wouldn't mind a hamburger here and there. I might just plan ahead and buy a whole bunch of A&W or something like I did with my last walk. That worked out pretty good. But yeah. There's not too much more to be said because, like I said, I wanted to get a bunch of things done in this video. Maybe you can see this flag is a little different. That's just it. I'm not in the greatest shape in the universe. I'm asthmatic. And you may have seen in some of my videos I'm smoking marijuana, which is not a good combination. And so who knows, maybe this is the year that I decide to quit smoking that stuff. Can't really be flying the cannabis flag without it, can I? I don't need it. What I need to do is get these stunts done. And if I gotta change something about my life to do that, then maybe that's what needs to be done. What I'm gonna try is finding stronger marijuana edibles because I like to get a buzz. You know, it's not a necessity, but if I could, I would like to be able to relax a little bit. But at the end of the day, life is beautiful with or without additives. Never had the need to drink. There was a year or so where I was smoking nicotine, and that's a terrible, awful habit. No one has to, like, no one really, doctors really didn't have to tell people that was unhealthy. You can feel how terribly unhealthy that is for you. It just makes everything not work right. And I hope the damage I did to myself smoking those cigarettes isn't going to impede me on this journey here. So this is going to be a matter of careful preparation, and I'm trying to do 40 squats a day and mostly failing to keep up with that number just because I keep forgetting to, like, I'll do 15 and then I'll be like, oh yeah, that's right, I did 15 yesterday. And then another day I'll do 20, and then some days I'll make the 40 no problem. And it's really more a matter of remembering rather than like it being difficult. That's why I think One Punch Man is really a beautiful representation of how simple it could be to elevate yourself. Because it's like a joke that all he does is 100 push-ups, 100 squats. What else does he does? He runs a mile a day, and like he does very basic exercise that isn't even that intense, but just the idea that he keeps up with the routine every day, that is the truly superhuman impossible thing, because fuck, it's hard to keep up with the routine, whether we're talking exercises or art or work. Routines are hard, but they're also kind of what keeps you in order. You know, it's very easy to fall into disorder. I have a big problem with that. um, I just want to be upfront that I'm aware of the fact that I'm disorderly. Even my background kind of shows that. It's like, what's going on back there? We got all this shit, and it's like, yeah, I know it's a collage of things, but yeah, that's all I got to say. Hopefully, it wasn't too all over the place there, but that's what's going on. These golden berries are really good. I'm gonna finish these off. Um, They're a little bit different if you want to try a fruit that if you've never tried ground cherries before, you'll never tasted anything like these. And if I hadn't tried ground cherries before, this would have been totally new. The way ground cherries were, because they're just something totally different. They're like a melon, but like I said, they have that weird creamy flavor. But I'm gonna stop recording because I don't want to make this video too long again. My name is Joseph Arthur Roszell. You might know me as Captain Canada. I want to wish you all the luck in the world. I want you to know that I love you. And I want you to know that suicide is never the answer. Peace out for now.